learn. Once again, a bit of an abrupt stop. It's a little chilly this morning. Los Angeles. Chilly. Come on. What the heck? I wanted to say a happy Wednesday to all, and a good morning, and a hello. And today, such another short, simple one, man. I'm doing basically a year of these short and simple ones, and it's interesting that it allows you or guides you to just chew at these bony bits, you know? Suck the marrow from these little bones. Philippians 2:4. Obviously, I need to eat meat. Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interests of others. I think it's funny because it's such a very ultra basic version of indeed the second greatest commandment. And sometimes I want to even abandon. They are called commandments for a reason, so I'm not going to be changing that. But in trying to relate them to people, sometimes I don't want to call them commandments because it makes people bristle. But then in a way, I feel like people's bristling against the word commandment or the commandments themselves is a splendid indicator of who exactly and what exactly we are, and how rebellious we are, even of the most pure and the lovely of things. But sometimes I want to co-opt modern language and almost I know they're not that the Christian life is first and foremost not so much about living an easier life. I was going to say better life, because it is certainly about living a better life. About easing your path in any way, shape, or form. In some ways it makes it harder. It eases your path in that you are all the trials and travails you come upon, and all the hurdles you must hurdle, and all the walls you must smash through or walk around, are there guilt-free. So you are no longer getting in your own way, or at least that's the overall intention. You still find ways to get in your own way, or rather I find ways to get in my own way. But sometimes I want to call, more than commandments, they are indeed enlightenments. And that word was not popularly used then, and maybe wouldn't be popular now, because it sort of suggests other things that might not be relevant, but in a way they are. And I needed this message today because I've been pretty self-obsessed. Yesterday and last night for sure, was very caught up in the trappings and vines and nettings of this existence, of just, temporal things that I know won't even really matter, hopefully within a year or so, and I'll barely remember them. And yet, of course, in the moment, temporal things can seem like so unbelievably all-important. And indeed, even the attention and service you do others will not always be upheld and remembered as often as your ego might like them to be. But there is service of others, attending to the needs of others, not only the needs of others, but personal, just interests, it says here. Your personal interests, or just things I'm curious about. Be not only curious about the things you're curious about, but be curious about the things that other people are curious about. This draws to mind the same stuff that Paul was talking about, maybe not in Philippians, but in basically I come to the Greek as a Greek, I come to the Jew as a Jew, I come to everybody where they are, without sin, of course. Don't come to the murderer as a murderer. Hey, I killed somebody. Now you and me can really really have a heart-to-heart about what Christ wants for your life. But indeed, that we are to be so intricately involved with our community. Now, first and foremost, too, that is kind of talking about the body of God, and that those you're in communion with within this body of the bride of Christ, that you are to be constantly seeking to serve. But I do not think it can be completely tossed out as applying quite often to all those that you are drawn with. I think your personal interests must always be sublimated to God's interests. Everyone's really are intended to be so. But let's try that today, y'all. Let's try to live that outside ourselves, that even our interests are sublimated to those of others. Let's try as an experiment. Let's see how that goes. Now, don't do anything crazy now. Unless that sounds crazy. Being that concerned about others, that's crazy. Maybe it is, but it's good crazy. It's like Dream Team crazy. It's like Bugs Bunny crazy. Amen? Selah.